Today I'm taking you into the abundance of nature. To those of you who came across this, there's something you are meant to hear. Many of you have cracked the matrix code, and I will tell you what it is. And you know you've cracked it because you're not controlled by the external systems anymore, the systems of thought. They're not emotionally controlling you anymore. And you're now the captain of your ship. If that's you, my friend, this message is for you. It's not necessary that you've mastered it. You may still notice that there are certain influences that may get you into fear. But as soon as possible, you pull yourself back to you and you remind yourself, I'm the one in power. I'm the one in power, right? You're the captain of your ship, my friend, and you understand that the smooth sea never made a skilled sailor, right? So, what does it mean that you've cracked the code of the matrix? It means that you've learned to tap into the universal energy that's called abundance. It's called infinity. And one way we can recognize that we've truly hacked the matrix code is that we become grateful. We become grateful, and how it can tell us that we've cracked the matrix code? Well, think about how grateful you can be when you are controlled by all the sources of information in the matrix. How grateful can you be? Well, it's quite hard to be grateful if you're constantly bombarded by some negative news, what's happening in the world, and all of that stuff. Then you go on social media and you're bombarded with comparison and all glittering things and all kinds of different opinions. Hard to be grateful, right? So there are few people right now who are independently grateful, who wake up and they set their energy right. They wake up and they set their minds right. They wake up and they tune into their hearts. They open their hearts. And those are the people who have hacked the matrix code. They go into the nature and they enjoy the sun because they know sun is medicine. Nature is medicine. Breathing fresh air is medicine, right? They're less depressed. They're more positive. And they get creative ideas from abundance of nature. How is that so? Well, because nature is a manifestation of creative force. You can try to destroy it, but it will grow anyway. It will depend to different circumstances and it will start growing once again. And those who spend enough time in nature, they learn its wisdom. They learn that, yes, there's many things we can't control outside of us, but we can adapt to them and we can still find a way to grow anyway. We embody growth mindset. And growth mindset is only possible when heart is grateful. Growth mindset is only possible when heart is grateful. Why? When your heart is not grateful, you're resentful. You're most probably in stress. You're in comparison. You're in fear. And due to all these stress responses, your brain is only looking for ways to survive. When we look for ways to survive, we don't have the capacity to thrive. We don't have capacity to slow down and look for options. That's why When you are grateful, you've hacked the matrix code. Now abundance can find you because you've learned to slow down, right? Abundance is all around us. Like, when I want to change something in my life, I don't start rushing. I actually slow down. That's what I've learned because I'm an artist. Many of you know I'm an artist. I'm a painter. You can find my paintings on AttractPassion.com to see what I'm doing. I've learned that when I want to get a new idea for my artwork or to solve any kind of a problem, I don't start rushing my life. I don't start jumping from one thing to another. No, I do quite the opposite. I go for a slow walk, or sometimes for a run, or sometimes on my bike. But I do something that is very unexpected in the Matrix. You see, in the Matrix, people are rushing because they want to get somewhere fast. But when we are creating out of abundance, we slow down because we know that if we want to get ourselves somewhere where we deserve to be, we firstly need to feel like we already deserve it. And to feel like we already deserve it means that we need to slow down, and notice what it is, right? And it's hard to notice what we truly deserve, or what we truly want, or what we want to create if we are rushing. So slow pace is actually the new fast, or how they call it. Slow pace is how we get there, right? And then we bend time. Then we bend time because we teach ourselves that as soon as we get clarity, as soon as we get insight, then we shift our identity as we are already that person, as we are already that version of ourselves that has got it, that has manifested it. That's how you crack the code of the Matrix. You recognize you can shift identities. You can shift identities because identity is a set of beliefs you've accumulated through life. And your emotions anchor you into it, but your emotions are the product of your thoughts, of your beliefs. So your emotions are something you need to process, but not to be defined by. And those who understand that, they have cracked the code of the Matrix. And they can tap into the energy of abundance because they know that despite how we feel emotionally, abundance is all around us. And the question is only, can I release what I feel so I can tune in what's around me? Can I release what I feel so I can tune in what's around me? And the good question here is, thank you for asking, my friend, how can I do that? That is a good question. You see, the quality of your life depends on the questions you ask. So those of you who've asked, how can I do it? Well, your quality of life is improving because your questions are deepening. Yeah, that's powerful. So how can you release old emotions? Well, something that this matrix will never encourage you to do is to sit with what you feel. It will tell you, hey, install another app or buy some sugary stuff or turn on the TV and news and Netflix and watch some movies and watch some whatever, some entertainment. And go on YouTube and watch some more stuff and get filled up with information and more entertainment because it will make you feel good. That's what Matrix does. But those who've cracked the code of the Matrix, they recognize, oh, no, I feel something that is bothering me. So let's see what it is. They sit with what they feel until that biochemical signal in your body that has some kind of stored information in it gets released back through your brain you acknowledge what you feel, and it teaches you something. That's why we say past is a teacher. Your past is a teacher. Your past made you feel something you've suppressed, and now you need to express it. And that's where you get wisdom from what you've suppressed, right? So that is a very important work to all of us. And those who sit with what they feel until it gets released, they suddenly experience a release of energy that is very rewarding, because it makes us feel excited once again. So as soon as we feel excited, it's like we would tune our antenna into a new possibility. That's what excitement does. It just puts us into a different state. And I know that because that's what I do, and it helps me to tune into new ideas. I'm not frustrated like, oh, what can I do now? Oh, this is happening, what now? No, I sit with it until it gets cleared. And then a solution finds me. That's why meditation is so powerful. So those who have cracked the code of the matrix, they've learned to meditate. Why? Because meditation helps you to become aware of what you've been unaware before. And awareness is your secret tool, because it helps you to see. It helps you to see not just with your physical eyes and your physical senses, but with your inner sense. This is awareness, to open up your inner sense. And that's where people start wondering, oh, who am I truly if I'm not experiencing this life just with my 5 physical senses? I have another sense, and this sense never dies. No, it never dies. It's eternal. So this is what wakes people up, because they recognize, okay, if I don't use my 5 senses and I still sense, then it means that I'm eternal. Because this never dies. How can you know this never dies? Well, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, but when you recognize that you sense beyond matter, you may ask yourself, is there something else beyond matter? And it is. What? Information, thoughts, ideas, potential realities, future and past versions of yourself, and a whole lot more, which maybe doesn't matter right now so much. It starts to matter maybe later, when you already master your life, and then you can tune into greater purposes. But what I wanted to talk today about was cracking the code of the matrix, tuning into gratitude, expecting more for yourself, because you deserve more. And you only deserve more when you expect more. It's not the expectancy where you're then disappointed if you don't receive it. No, it's expectancy where you just know you will get it. You just know you will make it happen. You just know that you will win. You just know that you will heal without any proof, because you don't need evidence anymore, because you have faith. You have deep knowing. This is power, my friend. This is something Matrix will never taught you, because it doesn't want you to know these things. Because as soon as you become the captain of your ship, it's hard to control you, because, well, if you don't like something, you can just turn around and move into another direction. And you've also learned to be very generous, because there's a nature to life that promotes generosity. Like, have you ever went outside and nature said, oh, today I will not give you breath. Today I will not give you sun. Today I will not give you water. Today my birds will not sing to you. Have you ever experienced that? No, you didn't, because nature is generous. And if you want to live abundant life, study nature. Become generous. People say, well, I can't be generous because I don't have money. Well, you will have it, you will make it. But generosity is not just about giving money or helping someone financially. Generosity is sometimes listening to someone, right? Find someone who needs an ear, who needs a heart to fill. This is generosity. Don't do it because you expect something from them, you want to receive something. Do it because you want to do it. This is generosity. It must be genuine. In all ancient cultures, they thought the power of manifestation happens through giving something back to nature. Like if you want to experience more abundance, for example, free some animals, help someone, and things like that. They taught it not because it's the universal law, but because it teaches us, give something first before you receive something in return. But if you give it only because you want to receive, then it's not genuine. That's why in ancient Egypt they said, at the moment you die, your heart will be measured with a feather. It's another symbolic language that says, only do things with a light heart, not some maybe wrong intentions or some unkind intentions. Do everything with the most loving intentions, which is a very strange thing for the Matrix, because in the Matrix everyone is doing things, everyone is intentional, like I will do this to get some money, I will do this to trick some people, I will do this to get some likes and followers and things like that. But when you crack this code, you recognize that true intention comes from love. And love is the most misunderstood force because people condition it. People say, well, I will love this because when this will happen. I will love that person when that person will be vulnerable with me. I will love that sport only when I win, or something like that. That's not love, my friend. That's not love. So, love happens when your heart opens. When you can, when you stop thinking with your senses of survival, like how can I survive? How can I get out of this situation and so on. And you tune into feeling. When you feel, you don't think. When you feel, you don't think, my friend. This is how you crack the code of the Matrix. When you feel, you don't think. So feeling is the secret. Who said that? Neville Goddard, right? He was the master of manifestation. And he said, feeling is the secret. Why he said that? Because when your feeling becomes so loud that you can't notice anything else but feeling that awe, that reverence, that incredible sense of connection, then that feeling starts guiding you. People say, oh, I feel sadness, I feel anger, I feel frustration. Those are not real feelings, those are human emotions. It's not the same. If you would truly feel these emotions, they would get released, and then you would actually feel a true feeling. And there's a difference between emotions and feelings. Actually, there's just one feeling. Emotions are part of our human nature. Feeling is our God's nature. There's just one feeling, and it has degrees of how strong we sense it. But when we are cluttered with too many thoughts and too many emotions, it's hard to feel, right? That's why in the Matrix, people like to suppress their emotions because firstly, they don't want to feel them. Secondly, they think they're bad. And as long as we believe this stuff, we'll be avoiding our own human intelligence. Why? Because it's unpleasant. We've forgotten how intelligent our bodies are. Through emotions, they tell us there's something wrong, there's something to process, there's something to work through, right? And lower your emotions go, more you become resentful, more you become hateful, because you feel separate from the world, you feel separate from the universal stream. Why? Because your body has pulled you away from collective, because there's something you need to process. And if you don't take time for it, life will make sure you will have to. That's why people get sick. That's why bad things happen. So you return back to yourself. You process it, you find help, you find support. And then you return back into your heart. That's why when people go through crisis, they eventually notice, oh yes, I had a dream of mine. That's why when there was a time of COVID, so many people have changed their lives completely. Because they had more time for themselves. Like when I quitted my last job, I had more time for me, and that's when I started drawing and later painting and later making these videos. And then the whole current of my life changed. I shifted timelines. I went into a new direction. If there's a line between A and B, that line is called time. And when you change the B spot for something else, for the D spot or whatever, from A to D is a different path. So it means it's a different timeline. It will require a different amount of time, experiences will be different, results will be different. That's what it means to shift timelines. Beginning is here for any timeline, but ending or finishing or finish line is somewhere else. And you can do it too. That's what happens when you crack the code of the matrix. You recognize you can jump timelines. It's not something mystical. It's not something spiritual you've heard. It just means you change your goals. You tune into your vision. If you don't have a vision for life, open your heart. Learn to open your heart and your vision will find you, because it's a law. Those who have learned to relax, they will feel guidance. It's a law, because you are a child of this universe, a child of God. Whatever words resonate with you, you are it. But you don't feel like you're part of it if your body has separated you from everything, because you need to process what you feel. Yeah, take time for that, my friend. To crack the code of the matrix means you become the captain of your ship. It means you hold a map of your life in your hands. It's not in the hands of your boss. It's not in the hands of your parents. It's not in the hands of your friends. It's in your hands. And you can choose where you're going. And yes, it will not be a smooth sea. No, it will not be a narrow road. No, you will climb mountains. Yes, and you will fall sometimes into the valleys of life. And you will crash into a tree sometimes. Yes, you will. And you will get hurt. Yeah. But at least you will know why you're doing that. It's not like, oh, my boss said that to me, and now I need to suffer. No, you will say, I've crashed into the tree just because I was blind to see, not to see, right? I crashed into a tree because I have big dreams, and I know I need to learn not to be naive. I need to learn to be wise. That's what it means. So you know why you're climbing mountains. You know why you're sailing a bit of wild oceans, right? Because it's worth it. How do you know it's worth it? Because it rewards you with wisdom. Because it rewards you with abundance. Because it rewards you with beautiful relationships. Because it rewards you with incredible new insights. One day when you will leave this place, your soul will be rejuvenated. You will flourish as a soul. Yeah, you will flourish, my friend. They say in the afterlife, this is just another philosophical, symbolic language. They say, which soul is the most rewarded in the afterlife? The one that has constantly failing and sailing wild oceans, or the one that was living a safe life and never got hurt? They say, yeah, obviously the one that has been living a wild life gets more rewarded. It's just symbolic. It doesn't mean who's better or worse. It's just a play of words. But the point is, Saul came here for an adventure. But then this world maybe taught you that adventure is scary, because feeling safe is good. But if you're on adventure for enough time, you recognize that you're actually always safe, you're always protected, life takes care of you. But it has a strange way of teaching you. And that strange way of teaching you is that it allows you to get hurt. And just at the time when you would give up, it rewards you. Because it knows how much you can handle. It knows more than you know. It knows how much you can handle. And sometimes when you think, oh, I can't handle this anymore, if it is still repeating, life knows that you need to push beyond your boundaries of what you think that is possible for you, and then you will get rewarded. So life is not saying, hey, just wait a little bit more, just be passive a little bit longer. No, life says, I will put you under pressure, under such a pressure that you will need to change something. And once you will change something, I will not reward you immediately. I will wait until you become so good at that that you recognize that even just improvement, change is a reward of itself, because it frees you, it liberates you. And then all of a sudden, rewards will come from all kinds of different directions. So this is how life is teaching you. It doesn't give you rewards immediately. That's what Matrix does. You install a new app and it already rewards you. Oh, congratulations, you've already begun. Oh, you're already great. That's what apps does, right? Life doesn't work this way. No, it rewards you at the last possible time. Because that's how we learn. That's how, changing a character is a tough work, because we're so conditioned to be a certain way. But every time we change a part of ourselves, eventually this change becomes rewarded, if it's a positive change. So this is how you crack the code of the Matrix. You open your heart. You practice gratitude. You expect more for you. You become more generous. And you learn to shift your identities. Recognize that you can mold yourself like you would be made out of clay. You're made of clay of this earth, of dust, of stars. You can mold yourself. That's why Bruce Lee said, be like water, my friend. Be like water, my friend. You can mold yourself, but it sounds beautiful, but it's not easy. No, it's not easy because we're so attached to patterns that are not serving us. As soon as we see them, we can ask ourselves, do I still want to repeat them? No. Can I find someone to model? Right? That's why we say, model a behavior of someone else. Find someone you can model and apply what they've done in your life in your own unique way. That's how you crack the code of the Matrix. You recognize you can mold yourself, you can shift yourself, you can change your identity, you can change your beliefs. Because you are the one in control, you're the one in power. So empower yourself, my friend. I will leave you here. I hope you found a great value today. I hope you've enjoyed in this beautiful nature. This is where I live. It's a beautiful place. For now, we're here. We're all travelers, right? So for now, we're here, and I hope you found a great value today in this beautiful Sunday. Enjoy your life, my friends. I will leave you here. So big thanks to everyone for choosing to support my art as well. I'm an artist, and you can find all of my art on AttractPassion.com, where you will find my paintings. They were all created with a purpose to inspire, to remind you They all are a bit symbolic, and each painting has its own story, its own philosophy, its own symbol. So see which one resonates with you. And if it does, well, big thanks to purchasing it. That's how you're also supporting this mission, and I'm truly grateful to all of you. Also join us on our Patreon community and YouTube membership. You will find everything in the description. Until next time, my friend, one love.